Hello, my name is Ken Weller, and this will be my second video here on YouTube. What I'm going to talk about today is the 3D printer. In my first video I explained that I'm starting a series of videos that will follow me as I go through the process of starting a new business that is essentially centered around a 3D printer. The new business was first created back in December when I came up with an idea for a product that I wanted to market, and in coming up with that idea I had to make a prototype. The 3D printer was able to give me a means of making a small quantity of parts at a relatively inexpensive cost. So to prove my concept and get proof of concept, I started by purchasing a 3D printer. My first 3D printer was in December of 2019. I built the printer. This is my very first one that I brought back here to show you. I built this printer in early to mid December of last year. Then I went and started learning how to use the CAD drawing, the 3D CAD drawing that would allow me to create the part. The software I used for the 3D CAD was the Autodesk 3D 123, or maybe it's 123 3D, but anyway, I used that software, learned how. It was pretty easy to pick up how to use it. I didn't have any special instruction. I actually went out to a couple of YouTube channels where people had used it and picked up some ideas there, and then just started drawing and until I was able to start creating the parts. As I created the parts, I would then take and save them as an STL file, and then I took that file and imported that into a software called Cura, which actually takes that STL 3D file of an object and slices it much like an MRI machine would do, where you just take a layer at a time, and then it creates a G-code file with these continuous layers. That G-code file then plugs directly into the board on the 3D printer, and the 3D printer then can pull up through its panel here that file and execute the file, and it will automatically start printing that file. There's a lot of trial and error. This printer has printed hundreds and hundreds of prototype parts for me, and it's done a very good job. I believe I initially paid about $135, $140 for this printer. It was a kit. I assembled it, and it's worked very well for the past 8 months approximately. The only modification or change I made to it was just putting this little piece of flexible conduit in here for my filament to go through, so that it wouldn't be catching on these sharp edges and hanging up or chafing or whatever. So that's about the only thing I've changed. Other than that, I went ahead and was able to get it to do the job for me. In this video, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the business that I'm creating. I'll be going through all the steps of setting up the LLC for the business, getting licenses, getting patents on your products. I received my first patent a couple of weeks ago, and I'll be showing you that product. So the main thing I wanted to do today was just give you a couple of tips about 3D printers, since this is going to be an important part of my business, and I want to show you how it can be an important part of yours if you're planning on starting a business, creating products, taking your ideas and making them a reality. The few things, a couple of tips I've learned. One is when you get the printer, the most critical alignment I have come up with on this printer is the bed. Getting the bed level so that as the print head moves across the axis and to all four corners, it must be the same distance off of the bed at all four corners. There are adjustment screws on all four corners with springs that help level that. However, you can get it perfectly level, and then with this printer you can pick it up, move it around, and it can be out of level. Because this frame is not, it's a good frame, it's pretty secure, but there is some flexing to it, just enough to throw things off. So what I did, I have it sitting on a board right now, but when it's in operation, I have little clamps that I'll show you later that will clamp it to this board that will make it rigid and secure and keep it from flexing. You can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and order or pick up this press board, which is 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's smooth on each side, but it's very smooth, flat. It gives you a good surface. You can buy a sheet of this thing, have them, they'll actually cut it for you in 24 by 24 squares or 22 by 24, whatever you need for your printer. So I suggest that one of the first things you do if you're going to start 3D printing with a 3D printer is to get one of these boards, put your 3D printer on it, and clamp it down so that once you get it aligned, it will stay aligned, but you can still pick up the board and move your printer around without messing up that alignment. The worst thing you can do is put it on a table or something that's unstable. So that's one tip. And then once you get it aligned, you'll be in pretty good shape and ready to go. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to keep this video very brief today. I'll be posting some more videos and showing you a couple of other things that I've learned along the way that are important if you're going to be doing 3D printing, and also if you're going to be starting a business utilizing these 3D printers. I mean, they're a lot of fun to hobby around with and just play with and create little toys or whatever. But the things that I have used it for has been to actually create parts and pieces that I can assemble that become part of a final product that I plan to market. So until the next time, I hope you'll keep watching, and we'll do more videos and show you more things about starting this new business and also about the 3D printers. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.